Hello, everybody. Today we'll be going over the Orange County bankruptcy of 1994 for our financial institutions and markets class. My name is Adrian, and I'll be doing this project with Kimberly, and I'm going to let her go over a quick overview.
Now for a short overview of the crisis. The Orange County bankruptcy was the largest bankruptcy in the U.S. history at the time due to the billions of dollars that was lost in such a short period of time. The bankruptcy was caused by a risky investment strategy that was not looked over by various parties before performing. Treasurer Robert Citron was at fault for the bankruptcy by conducting leveraged investments without measuring the risk carefully. This type of investing error took the county over 20 years to recover from, leaving them with little to no money for public services such as healthcare programs and public works. So now for the downhill of OC's financial house. Robert Citron was first elected the county's tax collector, then as the county's treasurer. Although Citron was treasurer for 24 years, he had no degree in investing and no prior experience in investing. As treasurer, he managed the county's investment pool in which he was able to obtain $7.6 billion of deposits into the account. He was able to persuade public agencies into investing money in the pool. In the image here, we see how Citron was able to get 37% of his investment pool funds from public agencies. Then 13 million was from borrowed money, ending with the investment pool of $20.6 billion. Citron believed that since interest rates were going down, then bonds were going up. So he used money from the investment pool to buy derivatives and securities. He used money from the pool to borrow money, which he used as collateral for his big investments. Local governments were desperate for cash with the drop of revenue from property tax due to Proposition 13. So when they saw that Citron's investments were making double the amount that the state was earning, they praised him and let him continue without looking into how he was leveraging. In the image we have here, it shows the difference in Citron's return compared to the whole state of California. In 1982 alone, Citron had a return of over 15%, while the state had a return of 10%. With this kind of return rate for a county, everyone wanted a part of his investments and he was reelected as treasurer multiple times. Since Citron was promising big return rates, when an official brought to light a concern they had on Citron's investments, they were shut down for making false claims, which is why Citron was able to get through so many years of these investments without being looked over. For the next 10 months, the Federal Reserve raised interest rates 6 times consecutively, making Citron's investments lose money. In the image, we see how rates were decreasing in 1993, which was a good sign for bonds, but in 1994, rates increased drastically over 7%. Citron had uh, the option to either invest more money and use it as collateral to keep his investments or sell his securities at a loss. So he decided to invest $650 million of the county's cash into these investments to keep his position. Once rates started increasing drastically, Wall Street wanted more collateral for his loans, and local governments wanted their deposits back. All parties were panicking as rates rose up, but Citron knew that if he sold the securities, then he'd lose everything he invested in. So he made the decision to not sell and hold on to these bonds until they matured. On Saturday, December 3rd, 1994, the county received a call stating that Wall Street was going to sell their collateral on Monday since they had no faith on the county's risky investments. The council decided to liquidate their investments and sell off before Monday morning when the markets opened. But Monday morning came and they had a payment of $1 million due to a Wall Street lender, and Tuesday they had a payment of $1 billion due. Without any funds to pay lenders, big companies sold the county's collateral, creating bigger losses for them. By Tuesday, December 6th, OC declared bankruptcy and Wall Street seized and sold over $8 billion of the county's investments. Due to these failure of investments, Robert Citron had resignated and was found guilty of these investments.
And after all this, after the crisis, how did they recover? Well, from the crisis hit, they brought in Thomas Hayes, a former state treasurer, to clean up the mess. And he sold off the riskiest investments to stabilize things and worked with local governments to negotiate some of their losses. The county actually tried a sales tax increase to help, but voters rejected it completely. So instead, they issued bonds to refinance their debt, making big budget cuts and diverted funds to manage their finances. It wasn't easy, but they got through it in about 18 months. So in the end, why does the bankruptcy actually matter in the bigger picture? Why are we even talking about it? First off, some people thought municipal bonds were always safe investments, but this event shook that trust in local government bonds. But it also highlighted a major downside of things like Prop 13, and by limiting property taxes, Orange County and others became way too reliant on things like investment income, which in all honesty isn't too stable if you don't know what you're doing. The bankruptcy even caused what's called an Orange County penalty, where California's bond issuers had to offer higher yields because investors were spooked. And after this entire debacle had completely come to an end, there were some clear lessons and recommendations to avoid something like this from ever happening again. First, I would suggest the need for better oversight, which was obvious. More checks and balances, regular reporting, and making sure financial officers have the right expertise to handle investments. Another one I would suggest was encouraging more cooperation between local governments, especially for planning and budgeting. So everyone isn't just off doing their own thing. And finally, my last recommendation would be giving local governments some flexibility to manage finances, especially in emergencies, which could have prevented risky choices like what we saw with Citron. This actually concludes the end of our presentation. Thank you everybody for watching. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a like and a comment. And yeah, thank you guys.